Good evening, Cougar football fans, and welcome inside Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium in Fayetteville, Arkansas, home of the Arkansas Razorbacks, who tonight host BYU for the first time ever. First down and 10. Dion Smith, the back, with Slovis. Shotgun snap, screen, double throw. Kingston to a wide open Dion Smith makes the catch. Touchdown! What a call and what a play! Touchdown Cougars! He was wide open on the far side of the field. Parker Kingston with the touchdown throw, the double pass. Keaton to Kingston to Dion for the touchdown. Shotgun, helmet high snap, the handoff to Davinian. Davinian's got, it's a tackle as he's handled from behind. He appeared to be busting out to the edge, but the Mangler got him, Blake Mangelson. How daring will they be? Twins left and right. Stepping up, pressure, and going down! Dropped for a loss on the play by Max Tooley, the sack of Jefferson at the 35-yard line. And Arkansas will punt it away. Slovis in the gun. L.J. Martin to his left hip. Just 2 carries for 0 yards. Trips to the right, including Lassiter, who motions in. Handoff L.J. L.J. second level. Martin may be gone. The 30, the 20, the 10, the touchdown! Touchdown Cougars! 45-yard touchdown run. L.J. with the TD, and the Cougs are right back in it. Martin right hip. They motion Cody Epps. They fake the screen to Cody. Keaton steps up, and he's got a man over, the catch made! Isaac Rex hauls it in and is tackled inside the 5. That appeared to be too tall, too high, too hard, and Isaac gets one hand on it. The give Martin, LJ into the end zone! Up the middle for 6, and the Cougars have scored 20 straight. It's 20-14, the PAT pending. Play fake. Pressure in on Jefferson, going down! Loss on the play, and a second sack of KJ Jefferson, a team sack, a combined sack at the 29, loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11. High snap, KJ. The handoff, didn't get it! Dubinian stopped short! He lost a half yard, and the Cougars take over at midfield. What a look for your first BYU field goal. A near hash kick for the right footer Farron. The snap Rico, the hold is good. The kick is on its way. The back spinner is through for 3. High snap, pocket collapses. Jefferson goes down this time. They wrap him and drop him back at the 31. That's a massive loss, 8 or 9 yards on that play on first down.
That's a really, really good rush by the Mangler.
2:10 to play in the third. Again a high snap. And again pressure. And a pick off! Intercepted! Max Tooley at the 40. 35-30. 25-20. Cougars in business. Slovis under center. A throwback left. Kingston catch. 20, 15, 10, 5, dive, touchdown! Touchdown! Parker Kingston and the Cougars! And they're a PAT away from tying this football game. KJ in the gun on a short drop. Throws in the right flat. The catch is made, but dropped in his tracks by Eddie Heckard is Dominique Johnson. And it'll be 4th down and long. Slovis, deep drop, right flat. Kingston makes a man miss, pulls away from a jersey tug, and moves the sticks. What a play by Parker Kingston. Needed 10, got 11. Defender has a hold of the jersey. It stretches out. And Kingston releases from the grasp to move the sticks. First down and 10. Ball near hash. Keaton Gunn. 31-31. Bouncing on his feet. Goes deep down the left side. Marion makes the catch. 15-10. 5 out of bounds. First and goal. BYU. Keelan Marion on the go. Motion. Marion. To his right, back to his left. Keaton deep drop. Keaton throws. End zone. Caught for the touchdown. He came down with it. He came down with it. Chase Roberts with the score. Leaping high in the air to haul it in and give the Cougars the lead. Chase Roberts flashing to the back left of the end zone. A one-handed haul in. Wow. Wides to either side, tight ends to either side. Jefferson throws right flat, and pass broken up by Max Tooley, putting a pop on Dubinian, and now it's third down again. Third down and 7, the Arkansas 42, 3:57 to go. BYU 38, Arkansas 31. BYU brings 5 on a blitzer, and the blitzer gets him. Heckard, the ball's loose, and I think the Cougars recover. Second and 14 from the 26. End zone or bust for the Razorbacks. Jefferson in the gun with Dubinian off his right hip. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Snap to KJ. Clock to 3, to 2, to 1. He goes down. The game is over. The game is over.
The game is over.
The game is over. And the Cougars have won it.
There really a lot of positive feedback from our fans and their interaction with Arkansas fans. So it was a really cool environment, and man, it was loud, and what a cool place, and what a good experience, and a great experience for our players to have. And we're looking forward to another great experience this weekend, going out to Kansas and seeing their wonderful campus and being in front of their fans, and hope we'll have our faithful fans show up again, just like they did last week, and I hope they have a great experience like they did last week. So obviously, I spoke in the press conference after the game that there's improvement to be made, and looking forward to correcting the mistakes. But the great thing I can say is that our players, the energy and the effort, the physical play, their willingness to buy into everything that we've asked them to is there, and I love the resiliency and the fight in our young men. To come back from 2 scores down early in the game and then do it again in the second half. I'd like to get started a lot better for us this week, but I know it's nice to see a team that can fight back when they need to. We're looking forward to having great effort again, going against another great coach. Lance Leipold's an amazing coach, and I like watching him as a leader. Have great interactions with him and his players, especially during media days. Really talented team, and you look at the things that they're able to do on offense, defense, and special teams. Tons of great size. They have a lot of returning production. You start with the quarterback, and not just the starting quarterback, but they have a couple quarterbacks that can play. But I've been able to meet their quarterback, Jalen, and had a really cool interaction with him at media days as well. So just seem like really great kids and committed to their culture and their coach. And I think the world of their coach, so I know that they'll be ready to play. I'm looking forward to trying to get our team ready this week, taking advantage of all the practice time and the preparation to play Kansas, because we'll need to be at our best to go into that environment and to compete with them. So we're looking forward to the opportunity. I'm looking forward to the opportunity for our team to get better and to improve from last week. I feel like we've improved every week, and probably need to improve even more in a lot of different ways, and a lot of fixable things we can get that done today. I said that last week. I think I said that every week now, but looking forward to the matchup and looking forward to a great team. I think Kansas is and they do some really cool things on offense. They're able to, about get 500 yards of offense and tons of points on the board, and then defense does a great job being physical and rallying and tackling well. So I think we got our work cut out for us, and we'll be excited for the challenge. So any questions you guys have?
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Let's start with Jay Drew and then John Kuhn.
Kalani, I know we've kind of beat this to death, but what are your impressions now after 3 games, more data points of the Big 12 just as a whole? Any surprises? It's kind of in a mixed bag on the field. I'm just curious what your impressions are of the league.
They're all well-coached teams, and with tons of talent. That's still the same. I don't think you can judge it all on 1 week. I don't know if you can judge it all on 3 weeks, but we're about to get into that point now where everyone's playing in the conference. And so it's about matchups. You can't sit there and be able to predict what's going to happen from the beginning with no games. And so it's not like you can get 3 games in and say, okay, now we know who's going to have success in the conference and who isn't. Every team is dangerous in this conference. We happen to play one in Kansas right now, so that's all we're focused on. But I know all those coaches. I've been able to be around them in meetings, and I see their teams. I've watched enough film to know that these guys are really good coaches, and they know how to get their teams ready. And that, I need to do my part to match the level of play and the standard that they have, and that means starting with this week against Kansas.
Kalani, you look at what Parker Kingston did on Saturday against Arkansas. Caught a TD pass, threw a TD pass, did some good returns on special teams. What about his skill set makes him a threat in so many areas of the game?
Oh, we knew he was a playmaker. I mean, I think I trust Fessy and A-Rod and our coaches' evaluation in the recruiting process, and so we knew that he's a playmaker. We're really excited that he's able to do some things when his number's called, but it's all the little things that he does that a lot of people don't realize. He also blocks well. He's a great teammate, and so I'm glad that he was able to make plays this game, and we're going to need him to make plays, and other guys that probably I haven't been getting the stats that they like, but I love the team and their connection to each other and commitment to each other. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy seeing them on the sideline, believing in each other and supporting each other. And there's guys that didn't even have a stat that played on that field but did everything right, and we can't win without those guys. And Parker has been that guy since he got here. It just happens that he made some plays when his number was called. So really proud of him.
Okay, go ahead, Jared Lloyd, and then Kevin Reynolds.
Kalani, I wanted to talk about third downs. Always a big down for the defense, and Southern Utah was at 50%, and Arkansas last year did a great job on third down. How rewarding was it to see your defense stand tall? And I think you held them to 2 of 13 or something like that in that game. How nice was that to see?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, that's the only down that matters when it comes to defense getting off the field. But it's also a down where you can wreak a lot of havoc, and so I'm glad that it worked out in our favor. But it's trying to win first and second down to create third and longs, and so I thought I don't know if we had a lot of third and longs in this situation, but I think looking at it, talking to Jay and seeing the film, we were able to have a bunch of meetings about it. We just felt like there was a lot that was left on the field. Like we could have done so many more things defensively, and I think everybody says that as a coach when you're doing that. But these are simple things like getting aligned correctly, knowing your assignment, being gap sound, stuff like that. Where, we were coaching it the right way. We just need it to show, and so that us as coaches, we got to find ways to eliminate those mistakes that are very fixable.
Hey, Kalani, I just wanted to ask you about Aiden Robbins. Obviously didn't have a carry last weekend. Just wanted to ask why was that, and do you expect him to play this week?
Well, I'll say this about a lot of the players. If a lot of them are going through some injury issues, which is making it hard for them to compete every week and be the starter. Whether you're banged up or not, we have to do the right thing, and that's play the guys that they give us the best chance to succeed. So we have a number of players that are going through some. They're not hurt enough to where they can't be 100, where they can't participate or contribute, but they're also not at 100%. And so, if someone at lesser than 100% might not be as good as someone else at 100%. I think that's where Aiden falls into that picture. And then it's a matter of him and others getting enough practice time too. Right now we put out the depth chart on Monday, but a lot happens in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practices where guys can get banged up in that because we're going to be physical in practice too. That's what we do. We have to keep practicing blocking, tackling, and hitting. And so we try to do as much as we can, and sometimes guys get banged up, and when we get to the game, we don't do another depth chart right before the game. But if a guy's going to miss that game, then we usually will know before the game. But sometimes it's even pregame where we had like a guy like Cody Epps, who we had do some pregame stuff last week, didn't clear enough to play in the game. And a lot of that has to do with, did he practice enough to do all that? And sometimes we have to make the decision to hold guys out and not participate as much. And so that's just, I think that's kind of where I'm trying to get at with this, is that the depth chart we're still working on it, but availability means that if a guy is able to give 80% and that's all they got, then that might be better than someone else's 100%. But if you have the right depth, it won't be.
Okay, we'll have a few questions from Mitch Harper and then Jake Hatch.
Kalani, you said in your opening statements that Kansas has a really cool offense, multiple pro-style look, it seems like. Is this one of the more complex offensive schemes that you've prepared for?
Yeah, for sure, and movement all over the place. And I mentioned Coach Leipold. He's had success everywhere he's been, so he has a system that he likes. And then I've seen enough film on him and his teams that he's coached that they do variable things. They're so diverse in their movement. They use the entire field, and they can hurt you in so many different ways. I mean, they have a returning rusher that rushed over 1,000 yards. Their quarterbacks can run as well. They can throw. They have talent in receivers receiver position. But when you start talking about their offensive weapons, everybody forgets that their defense is solid too. So I don't see a lot of weaknesses on this team. It's the reason why they're winning a lot of games and why they've had a lot of success. But we got to find ways to take advantage of our strengths and things that we think we can do in the matchup, and that's the whole battle of the game is practice what we think we're good at and what we can take advantage of, and they're going to do the same, and then we see what happens on Saturday. But I am really excited about the competition, about the game, and the opportunity to go out to Kansas and to be on that field and play against them. They're really a great program in the way that they're coached, and I like their young men on their team, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to the interaction with the fans too. So this is a Big 12 opening game, so we're really excited about that, about being in Kansas, but also excited that we are in the partnership and that we were working together with the Big 12. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Go ahead, Jake.
Oh, sorry, it froze up on me for a second there. Kalani, wanted to ask you, you were a guy who played in a conference when you played for BYU, and you guys are now re-entering conference play for the first time in 12 seasons. Does it feel any different to you knowing that, hey, there's actual stakes on the rest of these games this season?
I think for us, nobody's been in the Big 12 before, so I think even though I played in the WAC in the Mountain West, and I've coached in the Mountain West, and I've coached in the Pac-12, and I coached as an independent, I think for us it's like this is kind of the thing that we're in. We're excited about it. We've been hoping for this since we were in independence, so now that we're here, this is the opening moment for us. I mean, this is the conference game, and so we're excited about it. It just happens to be Kansas, who I admire the way they do things. I mean, it's going to be a fun game. I know that they're tough, and we have people that are connected and know that program really well. So I think they do a lot of things that I'm trying to do here as a head coach, and so we're expecting a great competition. We're going to try to do everything we can to take advantage of what we think we're good at, and we just got to see what happens, man. I'm really excited about the opportunity, excited about the game, but being part of the conference is fun because the guys get this, the conference player of the week, stuff like that. And so I know that when I was in a conference, it was a lot of fun being connected and having the familiar venues that so it's more about the guys going there, and then this won't be so brand new to them when we get to play Kansas at Kansas again. So this is going to be a lot of fun. But they've been watching. If anybody's watched football, has seen the games that are available, and you've seen Kansas play earlier in the season, so we know that they're going to have an excited crowd, and they're going to have really big time playmakers in all three phases on the field. So we're looking forward to this.
Okay, Coach, it looks like we have some follow-up questions, so we'll go Jay Drew, Jared Lloyd, Mitch Harper.
I mean, that you're 3-0 and your defense has played well with the situation that you face with your safeties, with all the guys out, is pretty remarkable. But kind of where are you right now with that position? Are you moving any guys over there? I think Crew Wakely went out, and I don't know if he returned. Just wonder if you could update us on kind of overall where that position is.
Yeah, I feel really good about the position because Jay Hill's coaching it, and I feel good about the depth there from the beginning. And I have to be careful always bragging about depth that we have in our positions, but it's being tested, and it's a great opportunity for these young guys to get on the field. I thought Crew had an amazing week of practice. Same with Ethan and same with Tanner and Malik and all those guys. It's just a matter of them, who Jay's feeling the best about in the preparation. So there's just unfortunate Crew got hurt so early in the game because he was doing some great things, and he'll be back. It's just not. It won't be back. He's not out for the season, so we have to keep evaluating him. But he'll be back, and I don't know if he'll be back in time for this game, but we'll keep evaluating. I think his health is more important than anything right now, and we'll have to rely on some of these other guys that we feel really comfortable with them being in the game. It's just the first time, for them to get these snaps, and it'll be cool, man. I'm excited about it. It's not like everybody's been perfect in every position. There's a lot of improvement to be made in every position, and the safeties can improve as well. And I think Jay's got that position group under control.
Kalani, how nice was it to see the resiliency that your team showed through adversity last week, and then now be able to build on that through the rest of the season?
Yeah, I really like the great question, by the way, Jared. I like the connection that the players have with each other and the belief that they have in each other. It showed. The leadership that our guys, I mean, Keaton was one of those guys that were out there leading, and we had the entire sideline. Guys were just bought in. It wasn't so much of a downer. I know a lot of people were questioning what's going on. It's such a quick game, but there's so many. When we're down 14-0, everybody. I think it's perfectly normal for people to get concerned, but there wasn't a lot of panic on the sideline, and we knew that this is a long game. We can keep playing. Then we found ourselves down 10 points in the second half, and it's like my job as a coach is to make sure we start faster. That's what I got to do, and because when you can be fortunate and come out with a win, but you can't keep spotting people. Points. And then when I say spot, you have to give credit to Arkansas for making the plays. But it's little things like turning the ball over or little things like missed assignments and causing issues and giving up big plays. And so it just happened so quick. It's like one big run, then a punt return for a touchdown, and you're like, oh, man. And but we were able to weather the storm a little bit and then find ways to keep playing and sticking together and believing in each other. And like I said, in the locker room and after the game and the sidelines, the excitement, energy, guys that didn't even get a snap or even log in a stat were so happy. And that's what I'm really proud of. I can't say it's what I've done, but these guys love each other, and I keep explaining to them that'll go a long way. They keep trusting and loving each other. You can overcome adversity, but if we can overcome adversity by not putting ourselves in that position to begin with, then that might be a lot easier. I think even on missed opportunities, Jay would talk to you about missed opportunities on sacks, on turnovers, and all those things. We could have had way better. We could have better result and better production in all three phases, but that's why I'm happy that our coaches are on top of it, and we'll try to fix any of the errors that we had earlier.
How big of a conversation, Kalani, has it been in your program this year, the chase for a Big 12 championship? How often is that being discussed among you, the coaches and players?
We're just trying to go one game at a time, and this is the old cliche, but it's a one-game season for us. We're not going to ever have this opportunity back again, just like last week. We're not going to have an opportunity to go to Arkansas and make a statement and play that game. So it comes down to this game again. This is it. This is our opening game in the Big 12 Conference. We're not going to ever get this back again. So I need these guys to understand the seriousness of this situation and why there needs to be a huge sense of urgency for us to get to the position where we can play at our best. If we do that, then regardless of the result, that's Monday through Friday work, and even Saturday morning trying to get that done, and that's what the focus is on. The rest of the stuff will take care of itself as soon as we get there, but you can't really focus on the Big 12 other than the first game that's in it, and that's Kansas.
Okay, we'll have one last question from Jake Hatch.
Kalani, we saw Braden Keim replace Caleb Etienne at the past halfway point of that game against Arkansas. Was that a performance-related issue? Was it injury-related? And has Braden Keim taken over that starting position?
It's a combination. I'll say this: with every position, it's a combination of all that. Whether it's your injury has, if you're going through some injury issues or you're going through some banged up situations, that's going to affect your performance in some way. And so even if guys are tired or if they're needing a break, that'll require guys making a change and change things up. I think it's a combination of all of it. Like I said, competition is strong, and then we're trying to get all our guys involved. We have a lot of really good players that can compete and can contribute. Braden Keim can contribute. He's a guy that's played a lot of snaps. We have Simi Mwala that can do the same. So there's a lot of guys on our team, Ian Fitzgerald, a lot of those guys that can play valuable reps for us. That's why I love the competition. And we have the affordability now with guys that are banged up, that in the past we've had to play with guys that are banged up and just say that's the best we got. Now we don't have to do that. We have really good talent around us, and I know guys want to play and they want to perform, they want to start and all that. But just be ready to contribute in any way you can. And if you're banged up, the guys need to understand that the team is what matters the most. And fortunately for us, we have great guys on our team that understand that. You talked about Caleb. Nobody had a bigger smile on his face after the game, right? And so I appreciate all of these young men and how much they love and appreciate each other, and it will show in the performance and how happy they are with whoever's on the field. That stuff matters, and that's the stuff that will help us go a long way.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, Coach. That's all the questions for today.
Appreciate it, guys. Go Cougs.
Thanks, Kalani.
Okay, next up we're going to have wide receiver Darius Lassiter. So if you have any questions for him, you can go ahead and raise your hand now.
You keep doing that. Keep being yourself. Keep up.
Hi Darius, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's just jump into some questions. We'll go ahead and start with Jake Hatch and then John Kuhn.
Darius, you're a Kansas legacy, I guess, for lack of a better term. Family's played there, got a brother there currently. What does this matchup mean to you to face off against the Jayhawks and your brother this week?
It means a lot. We always dreamed about either playing with each other or playing against each other, whether it be this level or the next level after that. So just us having the opportunity in our first Big 12 game for BYU, it's just great. It's a blessing to even be in this position.
Darius, look, this is kind of the moment that this program's been waiting for to finally be in the Big 12, playing Big 12 opponents. What's it like just going into this week preparing for that first Big 12 game? What's kind of the feeling among the team?
Our preparation hasn't changed from week one, even though it doesn't have the same Big 12 status that Sam Houston had. We still got to go in preparation the same, get ready for the games the same way as we always have. But this time we just got to amp it up a little bit more. Going into conference play, you going versus tougher opponents. So we just all got to be locked in. Every day we go out there to practice, whether it's just be walkthroughs or we actually having practice. We just got to be locked in.
Okay, go ahead, Jared Lloyd and then Jay Drew.
Darius, you're a veteran. You played a lot of football, and most teams talk about the importance of battling through adversity and being resilient when tough times come. What's it like to actually demonstrate it the way you guys did on Saturday?
Yeah, we had came out. We started a little slow on offense, and then they went down there and scored, and then they had the punt return. So we knew we couldn't let ourselves get down. There was a lot of game left. That happened in like the first 5 minutes. You play 60 minutes in the game, so just to keep everybody up throughout the whole game, and we knew going into the game that we was gonna come out victorious. We just had to all play together and not try to bash somebody else or is talking about the problems that we can go on. We just got to talk about the solution, how we're gonna fix it as a team.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, Darius, getting back to the Kansas question, why did you pick BYU over Kansas? Did you have an opportunity out of Eastern Michigan to go to Kansas, where your dad played and where your brother is?
They had the same opportunity as any other school to recruit me when I entered the transfer portal. After you kind of don't get that offer out of junior college, you kind of move on from wanting to go there. So I kind of wanted to be somewhere where I can build my own legacy and where I can show people that, I didn't just get to this opportunity because of my brothers or my dad may have gotten there. So I choose BYU. Just one, I get to play my brother as well, and also just taking that next step and having great competition to play against.
And then just to follow up, I know your father passed away, I think, fairly young, 49, I think it was.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, but what would this kind of matchup mean to him? What if you could kind of reflect on, you facing off against your brother? You have another brother in the NFL, I think. What do you think he's thinking up there? about all this?
I just know he's smiling. It's something that he wanted to see happen. We finally get to have it happen. It's just a big day for the family. Just having two brothers compete at it and go at each other. No matter what the score is or the outcome, he just wants us to go out there, play our hearts out with no regrets.
Thanks, Darius. We'll have some more questions from Jake Hatch and then Kevin Reynolds.
Yeah, Darius, I mentioned your brother having played at Kansas. He talked to you at all about the grind of a Big 12 schedule or anything of the like? How much conversation you guys have in season?
We pretty much talk every day, almost every week. We probably not gonna talk so much this week though, but it's not nothing that I didn't already know. Just the rigorous schedule they have. Them playing people last year, they started out 5-0, and then they kind of hit a wall, and it kind of got tough. So each week you got to go in there and work and train as hard as you can, because it's a toss-up conference. You can either win one week by a lot, and then the next week you can be in a dogfight. So just staying down and being prepared for any situation.
Kind of along those lines, and with your brother being a corner, have you talked to him at all about what potentially it would look like with you two matching up on Saturday? And has that been a talking point for you guys?
Oh, yeah. We kind of talked about it the day I signed to BYU. We kind of just talked a little family trash between each other, just knowing that I know I'm going to get the best out of him if we do get that matchup, and he's going to get the best out of me. Regardless of us being family, we still trying to represent for both of our teams. So at the end of the day, we're gonna both work.
Hey, go ahead, Sean Walker, and then Jared Lloyd.
Yeah, Darius, almost the exact same question, but maybe we can to just kind of follow up on that family dynamic. Just because you are sort of the odd sheep, I guess, a little bit in your family of KU guys, two brothers that went there, your dad obviously and whatnot. Do they kind of tag team a little bit, give you a little bit of shtick when you go back home, or when they text you kind of a thing? Like, I don't know, maybe send you a rock chalk text every time Kansas scores or something like that? Or they kind of ganging up on you a little?
Yeah, so the oldest brother, KJ, I kind of was talking to him last week about the game and stuff like that, and then he kind of get mad when I talked about them being a basketball school at the time, just to tease each other, something like that. He's always going to be a Jayhawk at heart, but he's going to support me no matter where I am. So he just wants us to see a great game between each other. But yeah, normally sometimes they double team on me and try to boost their school up, but they know.
Darius, what do you expect from the atmosphere for this game, being there? And I mean, something you're familiar with. So what should BYU football expect from the game there?
Yeah, their fans they're extremely loyal. They haven't had the most success football wise in the previous years, but last year they turned that around. And then the outcome of their game started to be great. I kind of got a chance to go to their bowl game last year when they played Arkansas, and then just having their fans turn up and be out there to support them, it was a great scenery.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Darius. That's all the questions for today.
All right, thank you.
Good luck this Saturday.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we're going to have linebacker Max Tooley. Hey, Max, thanks for being here. How are you?
Doing good. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. Okay, we're just waiting for some questions to pop up. Let's go ahead. We'll start with John Kuhn and then Jared Lloyd.
Max, the defensive effort against Arkansas was a night and day different from 2 years ago last year to Saturday. And one in particular highlight was Tyler Batty. He had a career high in tackles, forced a fumble, recovered a fumble, and he ended up being named the conference defensive player of the week. What can you say about his effort on the line and how that kind of spearheaded what you guys were able to accomplish on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, our defense as a whole, our whole mentality is just to fly to the ball, and Tyler obviously showed that on Saturday. He was everywhere. He was relentless with his pass rush. But all the D linemen, all the linebackers, I feel like we all had that mentality, and the safeties as well. Corners making open field tackles. Just the mindset as a whole is just swarm the offenders. Don't let them gain forward progress. At the end of plays, you always got to drive them backwards. So I think that's just been the mindset. We've all tried to apply that to our games, especially against a physical Arkansas team. So.
Max, I've asked the other guys this, and I'm kind of curious. I asked Kalani and Darius about this, but you guys showed resiliency through adversity in that game. What does that mean for these players going forward? How do you build on that, and what does that mean in the future games for you and the defense?
I think anytime you start off a little slow, it's gonna take a hit to your team's morale. But going forward, and especially on Saturday, we had the mentality that there's so much game to be played. That happened in the first 4, 5, 6 minutes of the game. So we knew we had a lot of time to regain the momentum. Just keep our composure. A couple bad plays can't stop a whole team's momentum. So we just tried to keep that positive mindset going forward. Just knowing it was going to be a dogfight, and it's not always the way you want to start, but it's how you finish. So that's what we always had in our heads, is just finish strong and do what we know how to do.
Third down was key on that, Max. How big was those plays when you guys were able to get off the field?
Yeah, as a defense, 3 and outs, getting the punts early in the drives, those are huge plays. Getting off the field, getting that rest, letting the offense take care of business. That's something you're always striving for as a defense. So yeah, of course, those third down stops, fourth down stops, those were clutch throughout the game to get us some breathing time, and to get our offense back out there and have them do what they do. So.
Go ahead, Jay Drew.
Hey, Max, now that you're in a conference for the first time in your career, do you find yourself kind of checking out the other Big 12 scores, what other Big 12 teams did, especially in the light of the fact you guys were picked 11th in the league? Is there anything there to that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be honest, yeah, I'm a big-time score checker, stat checker. I'm always on ESPN after the games, on the bus ride, plane rides home, seeing how the other teams in our conference are doing. Is like you said, it's my first time in my whole college career that I've been in a conference and really been able to track the guys, the teams within our conference. It's interesting to see how they're doing against, teams that, maybe they're favored to win, whatever. But we know how football is. Every college team's going to come out swinging every week, especially when you're the underdog. You're going to want to, show what you can do, upset some teams, and we've seen that so far in the Big 12. We're just trying to stay on the opposite end of that. So.
And then, real quickly, on that interception you had, was that did you like bait the quarterback into throwing that? And just kind of how did that take place? Because it looked like he maybe didn't even see you there.
Obviously we got to give credit to Blake Mangelson and the D-line up front, getting the rush against their big offensive linemen. Without that, who knows how the pass would have been thrown. But ultimately I had in my mind, he wants to hit that little curl area. Just had to get to my drop and trust that the guys behind me were doing their job. So it would have been a tough throw if he would have made it in that window. So both sides doing their jobs, and up front getting the pressure ultimately led to a team interception there.
Okay, Max, we'll have 3 more questions for you. We'll go Sean Walker, Ron Weaver, and then Jake Hatch.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Max, you probably saw it as you were walking up. We were just talking with Darius Lassiter. This is obviously a pretty big game for him with his family ties to Kansas and everything. But as somebody who's gone up against Darius in practice a decent amount, you've got his kind of as good of a viewpoint matching up against him as anybody, I think, or looking out against him as anybody. What's he kind of brought to this team, and maybe give us like a mini self-scout of him, of what he does for you guys?
No, yeah. I mean, Darius, Keelan, these guys that we picked up in this offseason have been huge contributors, especially with Cody and, Chase going through some things towards the beginning of the season. But yeah, Darius has been, just what you want in a receiver, long, big body, can go up and grab the ball, make plays after the catch. It's been great having him. He's been a great addition to our team, gives us a different threat on offense. And you've seen him give defenses threats or fits all season. So I think, it's going to be fun for him. This is a big family ties game for him this weekend. So I didn't even really realize that till this morning, honestly, that he had all these family ties. But yeah, that's really cool. He's been great. I'm happy he chose the Y. Got to come play against his brother. So.
Max, you guys played against KJ Jefferson obviously this past weekend, and his ability to be able to throw the ball and run the ball effectively. You guys now prepare for Jalen Daniels, who also can pass and run the ball. How does last week's performance defensively help you now to contain this quarterback?
Yeah, playing against KJ Jefferson, he's a threat both with his legs and with his arm. And we had the game plan in place to stop him, and we executed that ultimately. And like you say, Jalen Daniels, he's a little bit different kind of athlete, a little bit smaller, but still a great athlete nonetheless. He's going to be, a crucial part of their offense, so we need to figure out a way to stop him. But yeah, like you're saying, two great quarterbacks 2 weeks in a row. Seeing KJ is definitely going to help us prepare for this coming week. But yeah, we're excited to get after it, accept the challenge.
Go ahead, Jake.
Max, you mentioned Blake Mangelson in the pass rush against Arkansas and them playing a key role. Was that part of the game plan here, is to have those guys really force the action so you as linebackers can roam and make plays?
Yeah, obviously with any defensive front, you want those guys to be getting pass rush. And we know, Arkansas had some longer developing pass concepts, a lot of drop back pass, and, towards the end of the game, we knew they were going to be throwing the ball. So yeah, it's a big point of emphasis to get those guys on the edge, get penetration, win the edges on their tackles, as well as the interior guys, getting their hands up and throwing lanes, penetrating their center, in their guards, and just getting in his face, getting in the throwing windows. So yeah, guys who are dropping in the back end can do their job. So yeah, having those guys up front, we've really been honing in on, pass rush moves, getting better kind of pressure, and it obviously paid off a little bit on Saturday. So.
Thank you. Haircut looks good, by the way.
Hey, appreciate it.
Hey, Max, that's all the questions. Thanks
right.
So much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll have Isaac Rex joining us shortly.
Very shortly.
Oh, there he is. Perfect. Hey, Isaac, how's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Let's jump into some questions. Let's go Jake Hatch and then Jared Lloyd.
Isaac, I just wanted to ask you to compare how you feel right now this season versus how you felt maybe this time last year physically.
I feel good. My body feels pretty healthy. Nothing too serious. There's always bumps and bruises and things that happen during the first couple games that you can work through, but yep, nothing major. So I feel good.
Just kind of, adding to that, how much of a difference do you in terms of your ankle and everything right now versus when you had all that hardware in there and everything?
I feel like there's a big difference. I still have pain in it. After games and after practices, it still gets a little sore, but not as bad as it was maybe last year. But I think the main difference was I was able to work out this offseason. I was able to run this offseason. So that just helped me, get in shape, helped me work on my craft, helped me, get better at route running and blocking. So I feel like that's the main difference, even though my ankle, still gets sore every once in a while. But it's, I'm I was able to actually play this offseason, so it was fun.
After Saturday, we got to talk some one-handed catches. What's that like as a receiver? You know, when you're able to get a paw on it, bring it in, and how do you compare yours to what Chase did?
Well, Chase's was for the win, so it's hard to compare. Chase's was all the time. That was one of the coolest catches. Seeing that live on the field was awesome, and yeah, what a great moment in BYU history. One-handed catches, there's a fair amount of luck involved. You practice them, but not as much as two-handed catches. But yeah, you kind of just got to put your arm out there, reel it in. Try to get the right side of the ball. The front of the ball instead of the back. You'll never catch the back of it unless you're like Odell or something. So, there's a fair amount of luck involved, but also just good timing also.
Okay, we'll go Kevin Reynolds and then Jay Drew.
Hey Isaac, you talked about how much different you feel this time around, but was there ever a point for you in the recovery process, either last offseason or 2 off seasons ago now, where you didn't know if you were going to return and play football?
Yeah, there was definitely times like that. I didn't know how my body would react to all the surgeries, and doctors give you worst case scenarios. So my doctor, said it was maybe unlikely that I'd play this year, or even play again. So, but I just kind of made it the goal to work back. But yeah, I was just that's how doctors are. They give you the worst case scenarios. But I knew that my body would react. I knew I had good physical therapists that would get me back, and so it was a lot of miracles involved.
Hey, Isaac, when you guys were picked 11th in the Big 12, there wasn't a lot of, chip on your shoulder or anything like that. Do you still feel like now with this 3-0 start, is that still the attitude of the guys going into the conference play?
Yeah, I believe so. We don't really look into, media hype that much or what the media says about us too much, but, there was rumblings of how we were going to struggle in the Big 12, and we do want to, prove some people wrong. We want to have that underdog mentality. We did lose a lot of good players last year, and we brought a lot of new players in this year, and so a lot of guys, want to just show what they've got, show what they've been working for this whole off season, and just to show what BYU football is all about. And so, yeah, we want to keep that underdog mentality throughout the whole year, and just to remember that we weren't supposed to win the Arkansas game, and there's going to be a lot of other games that we're underdogs in the future, so we want to keep that mentality.
Yeah, I asked Max Toohey if he's like a scoreboard watcher. Do you watch the other Big 12 teams, how they did, or where do you fall in that category?
Yeah, you look at them after our games. I kind of look at all of college football just because I'm a fan. So I'm a fan. I've always been a fan of college football, so I always like to look back and see who won, what was the score of so-and-so. Watch some games if you can earlier in the day. So, yeah, just in general, I'm a big college football fan. So, yeah, I'm always looking at scores and stuff like that.
Okay, we'll go to Ron Weaver and then Jay Catch.
Yeah, as you talked about how you guys are putting in work with Keaton Slovis in the offseason. I know we've talked so much already about one-hand catches, but when you're making plays like that and you see your teammates Chase Roberts, are you surprised ever at all by that? Or you're not surprised because, hey, we've been doing this from the time he stepped on campus?
Well, I feel like anytime you see a catch like that, you're a little surprised. It's not like you practice one-handed back at the end zone falling down in front of 75,000 people. That's always surprising. So we run a lot of routes, but you never really practice the hardest scenario possible at what Chase did. So it was just a fun atmosphere, and what a great play by Chase. And yeah, it was super cool to watch.
And then a quick follow-up. You said that after the game on Saturday, you had to teach your Sunday school lesson and repent. I just wanted to know how that went for you.
It went good. It was actually a lot of participation. It was cool. I feel like since I called out my Sunday school class actually in the interview saying that the last time there wasn't very much participation, they really came to play. And so, when we were, preparing the lesson, me and my wife, we had a lot of questions, but they were answering them. So shout out to my Sunday school class. They were awesome. A lot of good discussions about forgiveness, about the atonement, about 2 Corinthians. I think it was 3-7 this week. So, yeah, it was good, very good discussion.
Well, I guess you can ask that for each month now when you have to teach ahead of time. But I wanted to ask you, you played a key role on both of Parker Kingston's touchdowns, the one he threw and obviously the one he ran in on that screen pass. What sets him apart as a player, in your opinion?
We all know about his speed, Parker's speed. He's very versatile. He can make plays, as a receiver. And teams got to start looking out for his arm too, I guess. That was a great ball that he threw. He was a quarterback in high school. And Parker, he really came alive this last game. It was super fun to watch. We always knew he had a lot of talent and a lot of speed, and he showed it on Saturday, and I can't be more proud than I am of Parker. It was really cool to watch.
You've been a beneficiary of some of these trick plays you've run over the years, but you also, like I said, on that touchdown pass, you ran you were the decoy in a way, I guess, running that safety off. How important is it to sell those hard on those plays?
Yeah, it's really important. I mean, if I'm not selling it or, thinking the ball might come to me, then, it could easily be covered. And, luckily they were a man team, and so that corner had me man, and I just had to make sure the safety didn't see the running back, on the other side. So I kind of got in the safety's way. But yeah, I mean, my part's not nearly as important as the throw and catch. So the throw and catch was money, and shout out to Dion and Parker for making that happen.
Awesome, Isaac. That's all the questions for today. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.